Hello everyone, Cartoon Chess Productions here, and today I'm going to do another response video. This time it's to another TheThings video. Last December I made a response to a video of 5 TV shows that copied the Loud House. Today I'm going to be doing a response to their video of top 10 TV shows that copy Nickelodeon. I'm going to be using more angry characters, so without further ado, let's get into this.
Who thought of it first? Disney, Cartoon Network, or Nickelodeon? We've got 10 reasons to believe it was Nickelodeon. Here are the TV shows that copied Nickelodeon. Stick around until the end to find out which popular show was actually totally copied. iCarly and Bizarre Bark. Disney Channel's Bizarre Bark features two best friends, Frankie and Paige, played by Madison Hu and Olivia Rodrigo, who post funny videos online for their fans. Sound familiar? That's probably because Nickelodeon's show iCarly had the same exact premise.
Okay, even though I hate this channel, I have to give credit where credit's due. They are correct in that Bizarre Bark is a ripoff of iCarly. There are way too many similarities.
Larva and Ren and Stimpy. Larva is a computer-animated cartoon that is made in Seoul, South Korea, but is streaming in the United States on Netflix. And boy, is it gross. There are so many bodily function jokes, you hardly notice that there isn't any dialogue. They literally talk with their bodies. When we saw this cartoon about two friends who have no shame and do the most disgusting things, we immediately thought of Nickelodeon's Ren and Stimpy.
Well, at least Ren and Stimpy don't communicate by using bodily functions.
There are a few differences. Ren and Stimpy were a lot nicer to each other than the greedy little worms in Larva. These colorful worms are always fighting over food, blankets, and love interests.
Ren and Stimpy? Nice to each other? No.
For department, they have an episode titled Eye Infection. Need we say more? That reminds us of an episode in Ren and Stimpy, where Ren told Stimpy he could go and play with his magic nose goblins. Stimpy was so excited, he kissed Ren and ran off to play with these magic nose goblins, which he found right where he left them, stuck under the table.
So just how is an episode about eye infections similar to an episode about boogers? That makes no sense.
And SpongeBob SquarePants. Cartoon Network's Uncle Grandpa is about surreal characters in strange environments and situations, and relies heavily on visual gags and catchphrases. Where have we seen that before?
A lot of other shows, not just SpongeBob.
Cartoon Network's Uncle Grandpa and Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants are very similar in style. This probably has to do with the fact that Casey Alexander, the guy who wrote 100 of SpongeBob's episodes, moved over to Cartoon Network to become the supervising and creative director of Uncle Grandpa.
Just because Casey Alexander worked on both shows doesn't mean it's a ripoff. By that logic, Gravity Falls is a ripoff of Flapjack because Alex Hirsch worked on both shows, even though those shows have nothing in common except for the amount of dark stuff.
Have similar booty-shaking gags. We can just picture Casey Alexander in the animator's room saying, "Can we make their heinies more bendy and flexible?"
You guys are perverts.
Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and Johnny Test. You may remember Nickelodeon's Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, as a fun computer animated television series that started back in 2002 and ran for 3 seasons. In the show, a young boy genius has a lab in his basement in which he does all sorts of experiments. This concept was just too good to only last 3 seasons. Maybe that's why Kids WB created a very similar show named Johnny Test. Both shows center around lab experiments gone haywire.
Johnny Test doesn't really have that much in common with Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, both shows are about experiments gone haywire. But Jimmy doesn't have 2 genius sisters. Jimmy isn't an unlikable brat. And they both have dog sidekicks, but Jimmy's dog is a robot, while Johnny's dog can speak. Also, to be fair, Johnny Test is more of a ripoff of Dexter's Lab.
But there are a few differences. In Johnny Test, it's his sisters who are the scientific geniuses. They use Johnny as their own personal lab rat, testing all their potions and scientific experiments on him. Things usually go wrong and Johnny has to suffer some of the side effects and consequences. But like Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, things usually work out by the end of the episode.
But don't things usually work out by the end of the episode in almost every kid's show? Also, if you know there are some differences, why'd you call it a ripoff if they're different?
Littlest Pet Shop and Paw Patrol. Who doesn't love a show with adorable cartoon animals who can talk? It only makes sense that there would be more than one of these shows floating around the TV universe.
Okay, by that logic, every show about talking animals is a ripoff of Paw Patrol. Wow! Great logic, TheThings.
Now, to be fair, The Littlest Pet Shop did air on Canadian television before Paw Patrol made its TV debut. However, The Littlest Pet Shop didn't make it to American TV screens until 2014, a year after Paw Patrol was already out and making young fans smile.
Okay, so if Littlest Pet Shop came out a year before Paw Patrol, why'd you call it a ripoff if it came 1 year before? Also, the thing you said about it coming to American TV in 2014 still doesn't make it a ripoff, and also that's completely false information. Do you know why? Because I used to watch The Hub, and I saw LPS air in 2012. Also, what's this? I found an LPS 2012 promo, and look, 2012. Idiots.
Paw Patrol, the dogs work together to protect their community and help those around them, while the Littlest Pet Shop animals are a bit more self-centered. They put on fashion shows to draw business to the pet shop. The dogs on Paw Patrol are friendly and helpful, while the pets in the Littlest Pet Shop are a bit sassy and full of themselves.
If you admit that they have different premises, then why did you call it a ripoff? Also, who cares if the characters in Littlest Pet Shop are a bit self-centered and sassy at times? At least they have actual flaws, and they have more depth than the characters in Paw Patrol. Like, they're Their characters, their personalities are about as deep as a puddle of spilt milk.
Random and all that.
Okay, I'm going to skip this one because they're right. So Random is a ripoff of All That.
Monsters Inc. and Real Monsters.
The title of your video is 10 TV shows that copy Nickelodeon. 10 TV shows, not movies. Monsters Inc. is not a show. It's a movie, for God's sakes.
To be perfectly honest, this is technically a film that copied the Nickelodeon TV show, but the similarities are just too close not to mention, so we're mentioning it.
What you're doing is called clickbait. You're misleading viewers into thinking that Monsters Inc. is a TV show, when in actuality it's a film.
Real Monsters is a Nickelodeon show featuring 3 young monsters who are going to school under the city dump to learn how to scare humans. Sounds like a certain popular Pixar Disney movie, right? If you're anything like us, it reminded you of Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. started production in 1994 when Toy Story was put back in production, which is in February 1994, which is way before Real Monsters hit TV screens.
Titans and Animorphs.
Wow, you guys, you have such a great grasp of the source material that you put a clip of Teen Titans Go instead of the 2003 Teen Titans.
Okay, this one is a sort of which came first, the chicken or the egg scenario. Teen Titans is actually based on the comic book series, The New Teen Titans, from the 80s.
Actually, the first Teen Titans comic book came out in the 60s, not the 80s. Also, Animorphs came during the 90s.
Like Animorphs, Teen Titans tells the story of 5 teenage superheroes who use their powers to fight crime.
That's a clip from Justice League vs. Teen Titans, not Teen Titans 2003.
Animorphs characters can turn into any animal they touch and also protect civilization, but they are fighting aliens instead of human bad guys. There is even a character in Teen Titans who can transform into various animals, just like the characters in Animorphs.
The character Beast Boy was created in the 60s, way before Animorphs, meaning that you clearly know nothing about the source material of Teen Titans.
Fred's Fruit Salad Island and SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'm going to skip this one because they are right. Coconut Fred is a ripoff of SpongeBob. The voice of Coconut Fred, Rob Paulson, even said it himself.
Ready for our #1 copycat TV show?
No.
Hunter x Hunter and Avatar: The Last Airbender. This time, it's actually Nickelodeon who did the copying with its show Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yet another example of clickbait. You put 10 TV shows that copy Nickelodeon, but now you're saying that Nickelodeon copied this anime. Wow. Great job. At this point, I'm going to stop showing clips because their logic here is incredibly bad and their evidence is weak. So, in Hunter x Hunter, the characters can manipulate objects just like the characters in Avatar. But those two shows have different premises. Hunter x Hunter isn't about the character trying to stop a war. One of the main plot points in that show is the main character trying to find his father. Also, Avatar gets inspiration from East Asian culture, not from anime like Hunter x Hunter. Busted, TheThings. So yeah, that's my official response to that video. Honestly, TheThings is the YouTube equivalent of BuzzFeed. And we all know how bad BuzzFeed is with their clickbait. So, I hope one day TheThings will shut down for good. And that's it for this video. Goodbye.